So I've been riding around with these new controllers, the 48 current. I think it's 48 plus 1 current, and they're very powerful, very torquey, will get up to speed no matter what. But the only thing I've been noticing is it eats the battery alive. I mean, you will get your speed, but you probably will only get anywhere between 50 to maybe 70 miles doing max speeds and stuff like that. So I might end up trying the other 40 plus ones they just sent me and see how those go, because I have two different styles of them and two different series. They look the same, but the model and serial number is different on them, so maybe something's different. Plus, they have white cables for the plug-in and the computer connections where they hook up to. I've never seen that. It's actually kind of odd. So I might want to give them a try and see what they do. But both controllers will get up to 60 miles an hour as long as you have enough runway. That is the only thing I would say that these guys are different than the factory controllers. It's like they don't have a limiter on them. Where my Romeo 2, it would slow down no matter what. I would hit 42 or 45 miles an hour and it feels like the bike kicks back. Like it's not allowed to go any faster. And with these controllers, both of them that are replacements, they will allow the bike to just keep going. So if you have enough runway, it will probably reach 62 miles an hour, because I've had it happen to me once. I just didn't have the camera on. And now, luckily, my phone was able to capture it, but that was about it. And most everybody doesn't believe it unless they see it. So the bike's not made for those speeds. I want to say 55, 58. And once you get into 60 mile an hour territory, the front end doesn't feel good. It's not a motorcycle. It don't have a stabilizer bar. So you really don't want to do 60 on this thing. But it can handle it. It can do it. I mean, as long as you have enough runway. But so far, the new controllers seem to love to eat the battery, but they will constantly give you the power, the torque, and everything you need from it. So it's one of those things. Do you want the power and the torque, or do you want the battery to stay longer? So you might want to go back to the 40 plus 1 current replacement controllers, because I noticed the battery lasted twice as long. I mean, I've done like 14 miles and used 10%. I don't know how that's possible. The other day, I did like 5 or 6 miles. Now, granted, it was 20 to 50 mile an hour wind gust and a constant 15 mile an hour wind. So the bike just kept going and going. But the battery, I used 9% to do like 5 miles. And right now, I think I've only done maybe 4.5 miles, and I'm at 91% of battery already. So you can see that there is a drawback to it. You can have all the power and torque because it loves to peel out now. That's another thing. The front wheel will constantly spin. So it's given the power. But like I will say again, they changed some things from the factory. We don't see the wattage being outputted on the display no more. We don't have the same controller feature options, which I like. Actually, I like the new controllers because we don't have to press the brake every time we want to drive. Normally we'd have to hit the brake and then and then let go, and then we can go. But they took that option and gave it to us so we can turn it on and off, which was really hard because you'd be sitting at the light and you'd forget to hold the brakes down, and because the light's like 5 minutes long. Next thing you know, you go to give it gas, you're like, oh shit, I got to put my hand on the brake first and then I can give it gas. So I'm glad that they removed that. And then they added 2 other features I haven't really got to play with. I think they're more light settings and assistant settings with the pedal assist. But other than that, she's been a beast. She's at least over 2,500 miles on it now. And it just keeps going. I've done your basic maintenance. I did the hub motors at 1,000 miles and haven't touched them since. They've been riding smooth. Other than that, I'm waiting for the summer to come back, because that was my number one problem with this bike. Was the Vegas heat killed it. After 2.5 hours to 2 hours, it would go into thermal protection mode, which is really nice, and it would protect the controllers and the motors from burning out, and would only let the bike do about 26 miles an hour. Then once the bike cooled down, the motors cooled down, everybody would work again perfectly fine. Well, I couldn't have that while I'm doing DoorDash. I'm going to be out for 4 hours to 6 hours with this bike. So I ended up contacting them. They gave me these weaker controllers, as I call them, because they're the 40+1 currents, which match the factory, but for some reason the wattage output would only go up to 1200 watts per wheel, do it to its peak, even though this bike is peaked out at almost 6,000 watts. When I first hit it, the back wheel would do 3,000, the front wheel would do about 2,800. And I'm almost tempted to put the controllers back in the factory display back in, both of them, and just to show everybody what it used to do. But no matter what, it would still only hit 54 miles an hour and would never go any faster, even going down a hill. Then they gave me these replacement controllers, and all of a sudden I'm going 55 plus miles an hour, hitting 60 sometimes, depending on road conditions. And my load, of course, too. So that all depends. So it's one of those things, you know. To me, it's a great bike. It does exactly what it says. A lot of people end up having issues with their electrical bikes. They replace parts and this and that. But I noticed a lot of them never replaced the main wire harness. I had that issue with one of my other bikes where it had some issues and gave error codes. But once we replaced the main wire harness for the whole bike, all that stopped. And the Romeo 2 has been fine ever since. I've never had a problem with it afterwards. Even though I had a few issues with the front motor on the Romeo 2, which is the smaller 20-inch. And they replaced the forks, but the company's always honored everything and always did what they're supposed to. As long as you can show proof of your video, you can explain everything and not be lying and saying, hey, I went out and crashed into a tree, now it's your guys' return, I don't want the bike, it sucks. I've seen it all, because when we see those on the internet, I always feel like it's a grain of salt with that. I just have to take it like that, because you never know. I know most people are usually telling the truth, but then you have so many that ruin it for us, just like how the e-bike thing's going on right now. Some states it's getting crazy. Here so far, we've been pretty good. We have a problem with dirt bikes and ATVs on the road for some reason. Everybody loves to ride those ATVs on the road. That's our biggest issue. And then the next one is everybody keeps getting ran over out here. But that's because it's Vegas and they're crazy drivers. Other than that, most of the cops always leave us alone. We never have no issues, me and my wife. And I've been riding these guys around for almost 3 years out here. So I gotta say, this is probably my longest video I've ever talked on. And I'm not gonna edit it or anything like that. So, yay, I talking. So, here we go. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. If someone was looking into purchasing this is a great bike. It's a workhorse. If you were going to use it for DoorDash, that's definitely what I would recommend, that battery life. Off-roading, I just don't see it with how heavy it is and how the bike is. It's more of a commuter bike than anything. So I'm going to say peace out. Hope you like me talking. Till next ride.